Hi everyone, nowadays GraphQL is high demanded API standard technology that provides flexibility for app developers to retrieve the data what they are exactly looking for. Due to the flexibility of developer convenience, it is very important to have a middle layer to provide secured, controlled and monitored environment for these APIs. WSO2 API mentioned newer version provides that facility for you, and this video will quickly teach you how we can expose GraphQL API through WSO2 API mention 3.0 as a managed API. Here I am going to consider simple use case. Let's look at this diagram. I have two users, Mark who is an API developer and Jane who is an app developer, and she has been given the manager role and necessary permission to subscribe APIs. So Mark has SDL definition of the country's API, which includes set of operations, and he needs to expose this API adding few rules. So first rule is for continuous operation, which needs to be authorized only for managers, and second rule is for restrict its invocation count to 1 request per minute, and third rule is for languages operation. This operation should be accessible for everyone even without a token. Meantime, Jane has 3 different requirements to invoke that API using 3 queries. According to the use case, there are 2 objectives for this video. One is to learn how to expose this country's API according to the Mark's rule. Now, I am going to show you the quick demo of it. I will log in with Mark's credential now. Now I am creating GraphQL API, importing the SDL definition of country's API. Click Next. Now I am adding the basic details of API. Now you can see all the operations have been listed at the overview page, and the imported SDL file is available here to download. Let's navigate to operation page. This is where the place that I am able to add operational level authorization, rate limiting and security. I have created a new scope called continents. So according to the Mark's rule, I am adding this created this scope to continents operation. And after I select the rate limit into operational level and add that required policy called 1 request per minute to continents operation. And I am disabling the security for languages. Click Save. Now I am going to publish the API. So as REST APIs, GraphQL APIs are also eligible to do various kind of functionalities like lifecycle management, versioning, monetization, documentation and etc. Now you can see APIs in a published state. Let's go to the developer portal to check whether that published API is available there. We can see the API. Therefore, our first objective is completed. So second objective is to identify what kind of invocation flows that Jane can follow to fulfill her 3 requirements based on the rules enforced by Mark. As first requirement, Jane needs to retrieve code name of all languages. When Jane is trying to invoke the API without token, the request gets successful as the languages has been disabled the security. So as the second requirement, Jane needs to retrieve name of all countries, code name of all languages in each of that country. When Jane is trying to invoke the API without token, the request will fail as the country's operation has been enabled the security. So the request gets successful when providing the required credentials. As third requirement, Jane needs to retrieve the name of all continents, name of all countries in each of the continent and code name of all languages of each country. So when Jane is trying to invoke the API without a token with continents scope, the request will fail. When invoke the API using the token with continents scope, the request will get successful. So when sending the next request with the 1 minute time period, the request will throttle out according to the throttle policy defined for continuous operation. Also, Gen can't invoke the API without manager role permissions. Now I'm going to fulfill the Gen's requirement. I will log in with the Gen's credentials now. Gen is able to download the schema definition file here, and also able to see all the operation names that are available for querying. When click on the test, the tryout console will be populated to try out queries. So in order to fulfill the first requirement, I am adding the query payload to here. Click execute. Now you can see it has retrieved the details what we asked for query. A second requirement to retrieve the country's details along with the language's details, we need to generate token as country's operation has the security. I'm navigating to credential page and subscribe to the API with a new application to generate a token. I have added the basic details of app and click next and generate the token, and I have copied the token and paste it in access token field at here. Now the response gives the details what I requested. To fulfill the third requirement, we need to regenerate the token with continuous scope. Go back to the credential page and click manage app and generate the token with adding continuous scope. I have copied the token and paste it in tryout console. And my third query is this one, which can retrieve the continents details along with the countries and languages details, and click execute. Now you can see it retrieve the continents details. When we send the second request, the request gets throttled out. Now you have an idea about all the scenarios that Jane can be tried out and what kind of invocation flows that she needs to follow. So I hope you understood how we can expose GraphQL services as a managed API via WSO2 APIM 3.0. Thank you.